What's up, investing legends? Today, we welcome George Otel to the program. George is known as the financing guy. He provides alternative investment solutions for small business owners and commercial real estate operators. And in today's episode, we dive deep into all things alternative financing related. We kick off the episode with George detailing some of the advantages of sourcing alternative lending as opposed to going to traditional banks for financing. Later on in the episode, George details the types of lenders and lending entities that he works with and sources alternative capital from, as well as the common lending scenarios that he typically sees and sources. And then finally, to conclude the episode, George details some of the scenarios in which he's seen small business operators get up to 100% financing on owner-occupied commercial real estate. Some really interesting stuff here. George truly has a plethora of knowledge when it comes to the debt market. And it's interesting because we talk a lot about equity on the show. We talk a lot about alternative investing, but we don't really give debt the time that it deserves because leverage is important and making smart decisions when it comes to debt is incredibly important. I think whether you're new to investing or you had a ton of investment experience, there really is something in here for everybody. So without further ado, everyone, let's welcome to the show, George Otel.
Welcome to the Investing Secrets Podcast.
George, welcome to the Investing Secrets Podcast. Ready to step inside the vault with me?
Sure.
All right, let's do it, man. I'm excited, brother. All right, so don't worry, man. Your secrets are safe with me. All right, your secrets are safe with me. So you're the financing guy, yeah?
Yep. Apparently, yes.
Apparently. Small business funding solutions. Explain to the audience, right? Just high level overview, like get your business model, how you help small businesses, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. Thanks, Danny, for putting the efforts to create this amazing podcast and sharing knowledge with the audience. So, U.S. business funding was created out of inefficiency in the markets. I had a couple of businesses prior to U.S. business funding, and it always was the problem of funding the right lender, the one that understands the small business owners. And after working with someone in this industry for a little over a year, I decided to start the U.S. business funding, where we initially were doing working capital, SBA loans, equipment financing. In the last 5 years, we doing commercial real estate as well. So we still doing that. We have different departments for any needs. So anything from $20,000 to $30 million, we facilitate that. Recently, we more aggressive with the commercial real estate, especially with the borrowers that they find themselves in a situation that they get in decline from the banks and they have a due date. And we help a couple clients avoid the foreclosure recently because, a lot of loans are coming due and not to everyone is able to line up the financing. So long story short, we have over 1,000 lending sources. We have a couple platforms that we use internally, and we kind of optimize and do some things in a different way, systematic. And we have a nice team with that has experience and able to facilitate those type of transactions, from working capital to commercial real estate. So either looking to buy a property or refinance, cash out, or anything, we are available, kind of.
That's awesome, man. So you are not just a business lender, you're also commercial real estate as well.
Yeah, and business acquisition. Actually, we working on business acquisition with one of the hosts from previous shows that I was on a podcast. So he's buying a business. I've been on 30 podcasts since February. So
you're ramping it up, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. That's cool. They're doing a good. The people that put us in touch together are doing a good job of
Getpodcasting.com. It's the best. I mean, this is the best form of having exposure to marketplace. It's you build trust and explain the process basically. And I see a lot of crazy stuff going, especially in the commercial real estate. And I'm sharing some of the things that I'm able to share, and it's risk, but it's also opportunity. So It's very important for the participants to understand, because, if you understand how to manage those deals properly, how to get your hands on them, it's a lot of opportunity as well. So
why should an owner consider alternative lending sources like yourself over traditional like bank financing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I had that question before. So basically, it's really simple. When things are the economy is doing good, things are nice, everything is paying outside. Everybody, most of the banks, they're gonna give you good loans and everything. But unfortunately, we're in a different reality. So basically, the banks are risk reverse, and a lot of banks, they don't do a lot of funding, and a lot of the ones that do, they don't understand the business models of everybody has. They don't understand business. So our role, my role in the company, and our role, basically, I have access to over 1,000 lending sources. So the question is, how long is going to take you as a business owner, go to the different banks, talk to them, because we have a system, we have processes in place that, we do the pre-qualification, pre-underwriting, and we screening through our lendings. Basically, in 24 hours, I have all the information needed, and I know who is able to do it, who is the lender able to do it. So basically, business owners don't have this capacity because it costs thousands of dollars a month to kind of create and sustain those type of processes and systems. So the long story short, it's we have access, and I can get you what you want in current market faster and more efficient than it's available in the marketplace, because most of the banks are risk reverse, and we see a lot of declines. So instead of focusing on the business and problems in your business owners go and shop around for weeks, sometimes months, and they get they go from a normal state to being desperate, because you've been working on getting funding for a couple of weeks and nobody's getting you. And the more banks you apply, everybody sees that you apply, because they all connected, and the more you apply, the low chances you get. So that's one of the things we avoid. So when you place a loan with us, we have our internal systems, we have a lender match processes that basically they connect to the file, so there's no inquiries and stuff like that. So we protect your identity, your business, and whoever's interested, they just contact us and we process things, because it's much faster and more efficient, basically.
So who are the lenders that you're going to market with this? I'm assuming these are private funds, private like credit funds, debt funds.
So the system that I have, the lender match. So I have two different platforms we use, and basically I have access to institutions like banks, credit unions, and I have access to private funds, family offices, a lot of different structures that able to facilitate those transactions that you need. So everybody can do this. It's just gonna take them a couple of years to go through all the banks and understand who does what. And another thing to consider, basically a couple of times a month, we get emails, hey, we don't do this anymore, we don't do that anymore. So you gotta keep up, because I had a couple of situations, a client got approved and like, hey, let me take a couple of weeks to think about it. And then they got back to me like, oh, let's go. And then it's like, by the way, the bank doesn't do those loans anymore. So like, hey, but how? It's like, welcome to my world.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, right? Because obviously like markets fluctuate and profiles change, all the investment theses change too. So that makes sense.
Yeah. We're still in a risky waters. A lot of, especially commercial real estate, a lot of loans are coming due and not so many willing to do. Before I was talking, let's say, to 3-5 banks to line up financing. Now I got to talk to 15, 20 banks, and you just don't call them and say, hey, Danny, can you do this loan? No. Then you move to the next one. No, you supply the file. They ask you 30 questions. Then you go answer that. Then a week later, they say, hey, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. We don't do this anymore or something like that. So imagine how many hours, man hours to work. Because sometimes we have 4 or 5 people working on one file just to get them through.
So a question that kind of comes to my mind too is the financing solutions that you have available to you. These are all debt sources, correct? There's no like equity infusions as well?
Yep. Yeah, I have some access, but I don't offer that. I keep that basically for our internal use. But overall, yeah, it's all debt.
It's all debt. Okay. Now, when you're as a real estate investor, right? Like, let's kind of flip the script here a little bit. So, business is one thing, but like on the real estate side of things, what are some of like the missteps that you see real estate investors make when sourcing alternative forms of financing?
Yep, it's the problem is they look for funding when they basically needed it yesterday. So I tell I tell everyone, you gotta look for funding when you don't need it. Because when you need it, you may not find it, or it may be too expensive, or you may not have enough money. So the whole concept is like, let's say if you will need money in 2 months, you got to start now, or like in 3 months, especially what type of project. Because let's say if you need an equipment loan for a piece of equipment to 300,000, it's gonna take 7 days to do that, 7 to 10 days. But if you need to do, let's say you're buying a building for your business, and you want to do an SBA loan, that's going to take, 45, 90 days. So you got to plan accordingly in advance. And I work with a lot of business owners, and they looking to buy commercial real estate for the business. I tell them, look, you got to start the process 6 to 12 months in advance, because it's a process. It's long. So that's one of the main problems. People, they don't look for financing when they are in a nice position, in a solid position.
Yep.
Most of the people, they come when they from the risky perspective, right? Like they need money, they desperate, and that creates all those high interest loans, and they under a lot of pressure. And it's because I tell people, you always gotta look for funding, because you always need funding. So you need funding to open a business, right?
Yep.
You need funding to stay in a business. You need funding to grow the business, or you need funding to buy a business. So and as you grow, as your business grows, your position as a CEO, you gotta allocate more time towards looking for cheaper financing, cash out options, and lining them up, and to be aware of what's going on in the market. So the only way to be aware, to work with people like us, or to just go and check the market yourself, and just have a banker, or let's say a broker like our company. I have a lot of clients. We talk every 3-6 months, just kind of chatting like a couple of minutes, see what's going on in the market and what to expect, or like they may have some project lined up, and they kind of like asking me when to start working on that. So it's you have a personal doctor for your personal health. You should have a personal finance for your business, obviously, because the cash flow is your it's the blood of the business. So you got to have a finance guy.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say the best time to go look for financing is when you don't need it, because I heard that before from a couple of business mentors of mine, and I think it makes sense, right? Like, best to position yourself for worst day, like the doomsday scenarios, right? Like, it's the best time to position yourself for that, though, is when you aren't in that situation, right?
Yep.
So and also, like, another thought that crossed my mind too, as you were saying all that, is like on the real estate side of things, being able to, like, for example, like if you've got like a property that's paid off, but you want to be in a position where, like, hey, if you see another great property come on the market, right? Or like of an off market opportunity that like is an absolute steal of a deal, but it needs like an all cash, like 5-day closing, whatever. It makes sense to have lines of credit ready for you to draw on.
Yeah,
right?
just pull them off.
Exactly. To make to be able to make quick decisions, right? So it's not just like for worst case scenario, it's also to take advantage of other people's, worst case scenarios and be in a position to strike when the iron's hot. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me.
I call the scenario just mentioned, I call it stress test. So if I had to do this, what I'll do. So you gotta always have those scenarios, like, cause you better have those scenarios lined up and not use them rather than needing to act and not have those scenarios. So that's exactly what it's the perfect situation. I mean, you want to have those money lined up because there's lines of credit. You don't pay anything if you don't use it. But I mean, you want to buy something and you call your banker or he's on vacation, and by the time they gets back, it's 2 weeks late and the deal is off. It's off. You lost it because you're not prepared. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's interesting.
For example, I work with we do a lot of owner-occupied business owners. So basically, if they're paying lease or rent over $5,000, it's very simple, because if you're paying the rent, basically you're paying the mortgage and you're paying the vacation for the landlord, or you're paying his pension, because they take your rent and they pay the mortgage and they have a lot left. So that's how it works. So I tell people, if you're looking to buy a business property and you don't have you're not pre-approved, you're wasting your time, because you may looking for something that it's $5 million and then you find out you qualify only for $3 million. So we do in a couple of days, once I get all your financials, I do that for free to just help you understand what's your situation in the market. So another thing is this is why to choose a broker rather than just going to the bank, because when you go to the bank, they're gonna say, send me the property. But if you don't have the property, but I'm able to give you those numbers, so you understand how much you qualify for. So as you mentioned, when you have a deal, so basically all those clients that are prepared, when the deal comes on the market, they just submit the offer to buy it. They show the financing lined up, and guess who is gonna win? Of course, the guy with financing lined up, and because the seller has only one question: show me the money. You want to see the money, and you want to show the money. That means you're prepared. That means you're a solid business owner or like an investor, and he wants to deal with you because you have the money, and it's gonna be not that painful to work with you. It's simple as that. You want to win the deal. That's how you win the deal, by being prepared and position yourself for the win.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So kind of coming back, George, to the tools and everything that you have available to you. So to clarify here, the database that you've put together, right? These tools and everything. Is this something that George put together? Or is it something that you purchased? Or is it something that you have access to through like a brokerage that you're a part of? Or like, how does that work exactly? This is just for my own personal knowledge, by the way. I'm curious.
I've been doing this for over 7 years, and I dedicated a lot of my time, energy, and resources to put together. So there is some softwares, proprietary software that we have internal. Also, we buy data from other sources, and it's a combination. It's a combination. So we have some people working internally. We have some working as contractors. And we even have someone for example, some of the marketing side, we have a team that we hire. So basically they cover things differently, because it's much cheaper for them to do the entire thing than me to put together. So they're more efficient. But overall, it's done by me and my partners. I have a couple of partners. We work together. And it's me, my partners, we put all this together, and this is the structure. We have the experience. I have two partners that they have over 20 years experience in commercial real estate, and they've been doing deals for a long time, and they've been through many markets, and they know they have a lot of relationships. So that's a lot of things to consider. It's not only just having a source of lenders. It's just being able to put those deals together, to structure them, and then to process the whole thing.
Yeah. That's really interesting, man. So when you're you've basically spent the early part of your career, then it sounds like, building out like a pretty robust database of lenders. Coming back to the marketing thing that you were saying, like when you say marketing, just to clarify for the audience too, like I think what you're referring to is like the marketing packages that you send out, like the decks and everything that you're sending out to like the lenders?
No. The prospects, basically the prospects. So how clients hear about us. So somebody hear about that from this podcast. I have a lot of people calling. I have a lot of referrals that we've been, doing the deals for years and helping them facilitate the transaction for their clients, like accountants, different consultants. And we generate leads, so because we have a lot of, we do equipment, we do fix and flips for home investors, for single family, multifamilies and stuff like that. And I own multifamily investors nationwide. It's a group with investors on Facebook. Is over 20,000 members. I have that since 2017. So that's kind of the idea. We try multiple things, different things, and we just we use what's working, we double down. What doesn't work, we remove it. So every year you adjust the process, and that's how you win. That's we basically gonna double this year. The whole thing is gonna double. So it's good.
Yeah, that's really interesting, man. That's really interesting. So, yeah, and we'll switch topics after this, but I'm just like genuinely curious, right? Because it sounds like there's some crossover between what you do and what I do.
We can work a lot of things together, obviously.
Yeah, when you're building out these like systems or like building out these databases, some of it's like research. Did you hire people to do research, or like are you doing the research yourself, or like how did you kind of like put it all together?
We have some tools that we use. We purchase from other people. Mm-hmm. Also, we have basically done things for ourselves manually. We go through database, we have different chats, and I'm part of a couple associations. I'm staying up to date with what's going on in the market. Mm-hmm. And for example, one of the chats that I'm part of, there's a lot of lenders. So let's say I have a deal, I have this property, I need this, and this is amount, this is the sponsor, the borrower's situation, and what you can offer. So everybody that can offer, they just contact me. So it's just, you're not just going to the bank talking with the clerk, because I'm talking with the vice president of the bank or CFO of the bank, or someone that is able to actually move that deal really quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and the reason I was asking is basically for like the last 3 years, I've been building out a very similar database, but on the equity side, right?
Yep,
Yep. So I'm just like eternally curious when it comes to like what works for people when they do that and everything, because I feel like on the equity side, I now have a fairly like a decent, like a robust list. Like I think I have a lot more relationships than like most people.
It's good.
Maybe even, but like I'm always curious, like what works for people. We'll maybe chat about that more offline.
Yeah. It takes like a couple of years, let's say 5 years. So it's just, you gotta have your goal in 5 years to do the best, and then things gonna happen. The things like the abundance gates are opening and the things are changing. So what it took years to happen is gonna happen in weeks. So it's how it is. Yeah. One day just wake up and everything is different. It's like all those years that you put together, and like the vision is happening. So it's it just needs a little bit more. You're 3, so you 2 more to go. So
that's cool, man. All right. Well, I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know it'll eventually all pay off. Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool, man. So Well, let's switch gears a little bit. You obviously, like we talked about like long-term financing here, but I understand that you also do like short-term capital injections. You do some like bridge stuff as well, right? So like right now, like where do you see the biggest need? Like what are people coming to you for like short-term capital injections, like what kind of bridge product? Like what are you seeing right now, like common scenarios?
Yeah, so for commercial real estate, I'm trying to stay focused on commercial real estate because I like the whole thing, how it works, and I'm very attached emotionally with this. It's something that I like to do, and I want to do. And we recently been approached by a lot of people that got declined from a lot of banks, and a lot of loan structure didn't work. So we able to provide the funding. We have access to a couple funds that the private funds, so they can structure those loans faster because they have the in-house underwriting, they have the in-house legal, they have the in-house appraisal, and if let's say for a couple $1 million property, let's say $10-15 million property, they just overnight the appraisal and can get the loan in 5 to 7 days, basically. So to this fast, because people start early, but we have couple of situations. I have couple, they gonna be in foreclosure in a couple of weeks. So we still have time because they came, but other ones they came like couple, like it was like a week before the foreclosure. So so we can help with that with bridge loans, $1 million to $100 million, $1 to $100 million, and construction also to basically long term. So whenever we do a bridge, we line up the long term financing as well, because that's the proper way to do it. So it's not just coming to us for a short term loan and we let you on your own. No, we make sure you have the long term financing lined up as well. So you actually successfully succeed with the whole plan together. So if you looking for a bridge loan to acquire a property or a distressed, or you have a deal and you need to move fast, we able to facilitate that, because sometimes the goal is to just grab it off the market, grab it off the street, put it on your name, then you refinance that, and that's how the deals are made, because you're never gonna get something with example, low down payment, low interest rate, and a discount. It's gotta be something. So
I definitely think that where we are at right now in the market cycle, there's an increased need for shorter term type product. And I'm not sure if you're seeing, have you been involved in any like cash in refinances where
cash out?
No, well, okay, well, no, cash out. Yes, we're cashing out to refinance, but right now with the debt market where it's at, like people that bought buildings in 2021, 2022, they're actually needing to do an injection, right? A cash injection into the so it's like a cash in refinance. Are there debt products that help with the cash in, or because most of the solutions I'm aware of are equity injections, right? But have you seen any sort of like debt injections?
If they have other collateral, other properties as collateral, we can facilitate that.
Collateral. So it's an asset-backed loan.
It's obviously it's asset-backed loan. So it's available. Also, we work with we got couple deals recently. It was 10 days ago, something like that. Couple funds, they got some deals, off-market deals from it's a distressed portfolio basically. So we're able to facilitate 100% financing and a little bit of working capital, just a little bit over $1 million, so they can basically acquire the property and optimize the property. But because they bought it at it's 40% LTV. Basically, so we able to facilitate that because they it's a smoking deal, so it's good. So if I mean, we can facilitate that because it's, by the time, let's say if you're raising money, by the time you're raising money, you can be out of time. So you get a bridge loan. Let's say you close that in 20, 30 days, because it all depends. If you have the ability to raise this money this fast, yes. If not, then we do a bridge loan, then you refinance or you buy out pay off the bridge loan. So either way works. So yeah, we're working right now with the fund. They got a good deal, a small portfolio, and we able to facilitate that. So it's nice to see, it's nice to see that we have the ability to help people. That's the bottom line. Because the sad part is when you want to help people and you don't have the option. That's the sad part. Because I'm saying to myself, I know there should be option. I just gotta continue to look for them. So, for example, I'm going to different conferences every year to those private money. I spend my time, resources, and energy to get those connections, and that's how you stay on top of the game. I'm still doing that. I go through 4 or 5 conferences just for the raising money. I'm not going to learn something. Well, I'm learning new, but it's not a new industry or something. I'm learning different strategies and stuff, because you always want to learn new stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, meeting with decision makers, with the people that actually know how to do things and have the ability to do things. When you manage a couple $1 billion, they able to move fast. So it's helpful. Right. And I've seen a lot of deals that I was like, kind of like, wow, it's so good to see those things happen, because sometimes you look for funding for a couple of months and nothing happens. So
yeah, that's really interesting, man. I'll have to pick your brain on the private money conferences after we hop offline here, because I would be curious what kind of conferences you're going to nowadays. You mentioned, so hold on, I had some notes here. I had something that I was going to ask you. Isn't that funny how that works? Like sometimes there's a question, it's like right there. I pivot
because we had so many things in common. That's why you want to ask me so many questions at the same time. I'm talking so much.
What exactly? Oh, I know. So I think what would be really helpful for the audience right now, in the spirit of George being on here, and obviously George is doing podcasts to try and get business. So it'd be really helpful to know, like a couple scenario, like walk through a couple of scenarios recently, right? You talked about the portfolio, like a bridge loan, right? Where they were able to acquire portfolio at a discount. Yep. That's a really good scenario, but maybe like 1 or 2 more scenarios, that could let the audience know like what you're capable of and common scenarios that you come about.
It's real simple. It's, basically, if you want to buy any franchise, it sounds a little bit off, but government, the SBA, Small Business Administration, actually, they have loans where you can buy any business. So you can buy any franchises. You can buy McDonald's, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. And those are good models. You're buying something that is proven to work. They have a system. So you buy it big enough. So you put a manager in place. You're not managing the stuff. So the manager manages the people, then they report to you. So you want to make sure you buy it big enough. So you pay the manager and enjoy your life. You don't hate your life. So that's one of the things. Also, all the business owners that they looking to buy a business property, because this is a good wealth building strategy, because you can buy a building with only 10% down payment, sometimes 100% financing. So if you have an existing building that you renting for at least 12 months and you want to buy it, you come up with an agreement with the landlord. They retire. By the way, a lot of baby boomers retire now. So
yep,
if you have 12 months of payments, I can get you 100% financing for buying the building. Because as I mentioned early, yes, because as I mentioned early, when you're paying the rent, you paying the mortgage and you paying the vacation for the landlord. That's how it works. That's how it works. Or if you don't want to sound that bad, you paying his pension. That's how it works. I mean, I know many people that they paid already the building, so they sold the business, but they keep the building. So they getting 20-30 grand a month just from the building because it's paid off, and that's a wealth building strategy. It's we're not talking about a couple $100 or $1,000. It's like tens of thousands a month. So it's the way to do it.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's really interesting. And I'm assuming that's for like standalone buildings, right? But like, let's say that they're it's a multi-tenant situation where they're one of 10 tenants or whatever. They want to buy the whole building. There's probably, I would assume like 100% is not necessarily possible in that scenario.
Well, it depends. That's a multifamily, so that's it's a different scenario. They want to see like 20-30% down payment. But for let's say if you own a business and you rent the building.
Yep.
So as far as you occupy 51% of the building, I can get you government loans that you put just 10% down payment. So it's really affordable to put it on your name. Mm-hmm. Then 2 years later or 18 months later, we refinance that with the low rate, and now you start to feel the wealth building strategy.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. Another thing, you mentioned the difference people going to the local bank or coming to us. So when people coming to us, basically, I asked them how many banks they went through, because a lot of banks, they don't understand business. So when they coming to us, I'm looking at them from a perspective as a business owner. Then I look at them from a perspective as a lender, and from a perspective as an investor. So in 10-15 minutes conversation we have initially with them, I'm able to give them different options, how we structure things and what they're capable of. And a lot of time they impressed, because they have the opinion, or based on knowledge and experience they have. I've been doing this day in and out for almost 10 years now, and things are changing, but we adapt, and we able to understand. So yeah, that's another thing. So a lot of different things. So for example, I have someone, they want to buy this building, they got it under contract, but it doesn't have the down payment. So I started the conversation with him, and 10 minutes into the conversation, I found out that he has some equipment. So we're using the equipment to cash out the equipment. Basically, he's selling the equipment to the lender, and then he's going to lease it back. So basically, the equipment is going to stay in his warehouse. It's not going to be moved. But basically, he sells it to the lender, and then he leases back. So he can still use the same equipment and also have the money to do the acquisition, basically. So it's a cash out from the equipment strategy to use it to leverage for the buying the building.
I'm taking notes, by the way. I'm like writing all this down.
Yeah. It's good.
This is awesome, man. I mean, look, like, I feel like we could literally talk about a lot of things for like hours here, George.
Yes.
I know that we're running up on time though. So in the spirit of time, I'm going to start to wrap things up.
Yeah, we can still go like till 3:40.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's good to know. From an underwriting standpoint, when the lenders are vetting these deals, what are you seeing like a tightening right now in the standards and in the underwriting practices? How are you seeing, because like last couple of years have been really tight, especially like in the traditional debt market. And so I'm wondering if like in the alternative debt market, you're seeing same thing, or is it still loose, like loosey goosey, or like it's not loose. No, it's still tightening, and it's getting harder and harder. And it can get uglier, because commercial real estate, it's not discussed in the main street, because it's the way it is.
when there's a residential home crisis, everybody talks about it. Everybody's freaking out. But commercial is done by professional investors, and they able to control those emotion, or at least there's not so many to make this much noise. So yeah, it's still a risk, a lot of risk, and I think in the next 36 months is gonna be a lot more smoking deals and a lot of people squeezed. And is the reality is the reality. I'm not happy about that this has happened, but because I'm happy that I avoided couple investments that I could have been upside down because of the interest. So I'm happy about that. So, but obviously it's a lot of risk. It's a lot of risk, and I understand those lenders that they tighten those criteria because we see a lot of ugly things. So yeah, the question is yes, and it could be more tightening.
Okay. So now coming to you from the equity side, right? Because all debt funds are like they're raising money, right? So all these funds and everything, they raise money. Now I'm curious, are there any debt funds or credit funds that you're working with right now where like you're seeing like crazy returns, like in excess of 20% year over year?
Yeah, I can't disclose that. Sorry. It's
okay. All right. Had to ask. I mean, I don't know what you can and can't talk about, but because I'm always like, dude, like because there are some. I get Facebook posts all the time now with like, debt funds, credit funds, all these different like private funds that are advertising like these insane returns, right? And so I'm always
it's. Probably they in a hole raising money. That's a strategy to grab a new fresh capital. I've seen a lot of scenarios because I see the front side and I see the back side, and it's different.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
okay. I figured that there's a lot of marketing gimmicks out there, right? And
yeah. When it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true.
Yeah, double your money in 12 months. It's like, come on.
Yeah. It's especially with AI and the whole situation happened with Trump and everything, and all these news outlets going nuts. We have a chat with funds, with lenders, with the big investors, and we have some analysts in the chat and people with a lot of knowledge in trading markets and having a lot of exposure. And we had days that it was pinned on the top of the chat. Never trust anything what you see. It's just imagine to this extent. So it's like he was on top. Like, don't trust anything. Don't trust anything. Question everything. That's to this. Like, I mean, how many I have? For example, trucking companies. And I got clients, they call me like, George, I got this somebody's offering me this deal, and I don't think what to say. I think it's so good. And I say, yeah, let me take a look. And like, I just do like 5 minutes digging, and we find out it's a big scam. So, they were about to lose $200,000 from, get this loan, just get this small loan. You're going to pay a small fee of $200,000. Then I get you $4 million line of credit and stuff like that. But you got to get the trade line. So the trade line is only $200,000. Different things. I mean, so like,
that's
people
crazy,
are paid.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We have
that's wild.
tools that we're able to understand fast. And I see the market. I understand what's going on and who's doing what. If that was possible, trust me, I'll be the first one in line at the gate to just offer that, because I have my team of people. They do the work, they do the research, they call everyone and see what's going on. We have a lot of stuff that is being updated on a weekly basis. Yeah, who does what and what to do. So when the clients come to us, we already know who to approach and how to move that fast.
Speaking of scams, About a year and a half ago, I was working on a hotel deal in New York City, and we were struggling to find equity partners because the hotel was on a ground lease and it was also union labor, which now everything's union because the laws have changed in New York even since then. Now, like everything's a union hotel, basically. But, at the time, even though most hotels were union, like there was just a lot of aversion to like a union plus a ground lease, right? It was just like double whammy. So some like weird scammy type of like lending thing was introduced to us where it was like almost like an infinite line of credit. And, there was it took me like 30 seconds to like size this up as like some scam, but it's crazy, man. Like, the guy was very convincing on the phone. He was super convincing, but then like, once you start just like thinking about it, you're like, there's no way this is all I have to do is go to like some random title company in Florida and drop off this big check. And then suddenly that check multiplies by like 30x. I don't think so. Right. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
So
yeah, so we well, sometimes at the office we kind of like discuss things we don't share with outside people. So basically you share like the highlight, not the whole all the details. And my wife, she's like, yeah, with you guys is never boring. It's like everybody's trying to especially when we kind of go like through a mild recession. I mean, like let's say in tracking transportation, I have like 60% of my clients in transportation, and it's kind of bloodbath. It's been for the last 2 years, and we've seen so many schemes. We've seen so many things. It's nuts, and it's just. That's when everything is going good, nobody cares. But when things are getting ugly, a lot of people become a lot creative. It's a lot of creativity. Yep.
Yeah. And they know that and they take advantage of it because they're like, they know that like, there's people out there who are desperate enough to fall for it,
Yeah. And it's scheme on a scheme, basically. Schemes, I mean, a lot of actors basically to do 100%. Those things.
100%. Well, man, we're coming up on time, but in traditional investing secrets fashion, we're going to have you leave the audience with one final X-File investing secret. We'll have you take it away.
Just share one of my secrets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's so if you're looking to get deals from off-market deals, it's always good to build up relationship with lenders or brokers, because it's we get those deals. Sometimes we share with our investors, sometimes we share with our clients, and it's always good to have access. So having access to someone like our company, you have access to funding, to good funding options, to best funding options available in the market. Then you have access to assets that they become available, because the lenders that we work with, they're willing to share stuff that is not available on the market, because we have some investors that they able to buy the whole portfolio, where they have the ability. So for the banks is the easiest, the fastest, less drama, the best. So it's always good, because transaction not gonna happen. They're gonna keep going. But the question is, are you gonna be part of those transactions, or are you just gonna hear about them 5 years from now?
That's a gold nugget if I've ever heard one. Most people go to real estate brokers for off market deals, and it's like, dude, the real off market deals, the lenders have them.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
man.
in December we're working on a project. So in December we're gonna have kind of a small group of people that are able to participate. We getting access to those properties of market and probably distressed. So I'll be able to put something together end of December, probably early next year. So that's it's good, because a lot of assets, they're gonna become available. Obviously not on the market because the big players, they know how to do things right. And, by the time it gets on the market, it's too late. So you don't make any profits because, it's off market. It's the big players play off market. So you got to jump on the big boys party.
Yes, sir. I love that. Well, George, how can people find you? We're going to have all these things linked in the description and in the show notes. But if people want to reach out to you and learn more about what you just talked about and potentially get added to that group later on, where can they do that?
Yeah, it's I'm available on LinkedIn as George Otel with US Business Funding. Also on our website, usbizfunding.net or usbusinessfunding.net. I'm available. Also on a phone number 414-475-7757. Send a text with the funding and mention the Gold Mine Studio, so you will be treated accordingly. And let's get those deals. Anything you're looking to buy a building or to buy a business or to finance anything, we're here, we're available, and we never been this busier anytime. I mean, never. So we're growing. This is a proof. We're doing things properly, and we basically adjust ourselves for the success because it takes years. So we have a saying: if you reach 5 years and you're not in jail or you're not broke, then you did something good. So I'm getting into my 8th year, so it's
you're not in jail or not broke. You did something good. That's pretty good, man. That's really good. Well, listen, George, it's been awesome chatting with you. Lots of valuable insights. We talk a lot about investments here. We talk a lot about equity. We talk a lot about raising capital. We talk a lot about investment strategy and everything. But debt is a very we don't talk about it enough on this program. So thanks for shedding some insights on that and sharing some of your secrets, man.
Yeah, and the last thing, the private money is just getting bigger and bigger, and having access to that, it's is through brokers, obviously, because those big funds, they when you look at the website, they don't even have all the products because they basically, we as brokers, we able to be as kind of the gatekeepers to not waste their time. So we do a lot of processing for them. We prepare the deal and they just say, yes, I like the deal, let's move forward. Then actually you're talking with the fund. So it's having access to big players, big money players. It's through brokers because, they don't have a downtown office or something you can go. So it's only through relationships. So having those relationships, it's a game changer. Thank you for your time.
100%. All right, George. Thanks for stopping by.
The same as yours, right, Danny? You have the same relationship. You taking time and energy to create those relationships, and you can introduce people to those. So same model.
100%, man. Yeah, no, I could not agree. I could not agree more. Awesome, brother. Well, appreciate all your time. This has been fun.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.